What is up, guys? Jeremy here from Let's Start a Pop Collection, and I am bringing you a little different video today where we will be reacting to a video that I watched and got a little under my skin. So I hope you guys enjoy this content, and we're going to get into it right after we run this quick little intro. Alright guys, so like I said, we've got a little bit different of a video for you today. We are going to be reviewing a video that I found on YouTube that talks about NFTs and actually calls the Funko NFT game a scam. I was a little bit turned off by that title, watched the video, and while I respect the man's opinion, I highly disagree with his points that were made, and I want to touch on them one by one and give you my thoughts and my opinion. That way you can go out there and use yours just as he recommended, and you can kind of come up with your own conclusion of what you think about the NFTs. So if you like this video, please do me a favor, hit the thumbs up. Consider being a subscriber if you're not already a subscriber. Turn on notifications, that way you know every time we upload a new video, and let's get into it. So today we're going to be talking about this video right here that I came across. It is titled The Huge Funko Pop NFT Scam. Don't Waste Your Money by Dr. Applesauce. Now, before we dive deep into this thing and point out some of the things that I disagree with, let me first start by saying I have no issue with Dr. Applesauce sharing his opinion. I think it was great that he did. We all have our own opinions, and he multiple times in his video suggests that everybody go out and do their own research and make their own decisions, and doesn't have any hate towards anybody who collects NFTs. So just as he does, I don't have any hate towards anybody who doesn't collect NFTs. So I just wanted to get that out there first before we get in, because I'm going to be a little critical on some of the things that he says, and I just wanted to put that out there. So let's jump back in.
Today we're going to be talking about Funko Pop NFTs. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I don't shy away from giving my opinions. And if there's something that I don't like that Funko's doing, I honestly have no problem telling you guys that I don't like it. When they do something that I'm not crazy about,
he gets a lot of hate for that, but I respect it.
A huge hesitancy I have is if you just look at Super Plastic and the massive push that they've had into NFTs and the massive backlash they've had from their consumers, and how that they can't sell all of the NFTs that they've made. They discounted prices, they gave a bunch of NFTs away, and Super Plastic still has all of these NFTs sitting around that nobody's going to buy. Now, Funko's jumping into the NFT game, and they're doing some things differently that...
I'm going to stop it here for a second. Comparing the Super Plastic NFT drop and the things around that, and comparing that to the Funko NFTs, is kind of apples to oranges. It doesn't really apply. I get his point, but to me it doesn't really apply. Super Plastic is a very different product than what Funko is offering, with a very different line, and the NFT, the whole thing, the way they drop theirs and the price of them, etc. It's just a whole different ball game. I don't think the comparison needed to be made there, but that's just my opinion.
In layman's terms, an NFT is it's something that doesn't really exist. That's
okay, so we're going to talk about that a lot because he mentions it doesn't exist, it's not real often throughout this whole video.
A picture or a GIF that moves, that has a limited quantity that you can put in your digital wallet, and it's supposed to be valuable, and it's supposed to have value and be traced from seller to seller to seller, and hopefully increase in value over time.
So dramatic, but I love the editing.
And like I said, obviously I have some bias in this. I don't care for NFTs. If you want to collect them, more power to you. I'm not mad at you for wanting to collect them.
We got them.
There's just some silliness about it that I don't really understand. There's a lot of people that don't understand why NFTs sell for so much. Like, personally, I would never spend $1,000 on an NFT when I could buy so many different things. And Funko's not...
What? Funko Pops? Sodas? Toys? Action figures? Comics?
Selling their NFTs for that price. They're doing things differently, making it to where it can be affordable for you to get them, but they've added some stuff that's going to cause people to spend absurd amounts of money. So let's dive into it. Now, here's how they're going to release things, okay? So they're going to release the NFTs in these digital trading card packs. So you can get 5 digital cards for $10, or 17 digital cards for, I think it's $30. That doesn't seem like a very bad deal. That's not bad. But the thing is to really get the things that people are going to go after, you're going to have to buy a lot of stuff. Okay, so
definitely not true. And I have many myself and many friends who could prove this otherwise, by having spent very little money in getting the things that we want.
This is how these are digital cards. Now, my first caveat would be, if they did this with real cards, that would be super cool.
Okay, we're going to dive into this real quick, because this is kind of where it gets me. We keep talking about not real, that real cards or that NFTs are not real. Well, let me just say this first and foremost. They're very real. I can look at them on my screen and see them, so they exist. And there's a lot of utility to them. I can utilize them in a number of different ways because I own it. It's mine, verified on the blockchain, that I get the rights to use this specific NFT. And as the future moves further down the road into more of the metaverse and a lot of the things that we're coming up on in the future, that the NFTs, actually the utility behind the NFT will actually greatly increase, which will create more and more value over time as well. So I won't get into the entire metaverse play and how that all works, but just know that just because we don't understand it doesn't mean it's not going to be part of our future. We didn't understand the internet, and here we are using the internet so I can produce videos for you just like this.
So this Bebop is limited to 1,467 pieces, and the only way you can get it is by pulling one of these legendary cards, which is a 1.63% chance, making it very, very rare, which what do we all know that is going to mean? That means it's going to have an incredibly high aftermarket value. Thanks. So people are going to spend ridiculous amounts of money trying to pull these things, and this is going to cause the secondary market value to skyrocket, which...
So I agree that the secondary market's going to skyrocket on these pops, because anybody who didn't want to get into the NFTs, I don't know, maybe they should have to pay a little extra to get them. It's just a little dark side to me. But the idea that you have to spend tons and tons of money in order to get it just isn't true. One of my good friends just opened 2 packs, paid $10 per pack. So he got 2 packs, $20, and pulled a Grail in one of them and a Legendary in the other. That's the only $20 he spent, and he got 2 redeemable Funko Pops for $20. Yes, the odds are slim. Not everybody gets it every time. But I've had incredible luck so far in opening packs, and I haven't had to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, as he multiple times suggests in this video. I haven't had to do that, and most of the people I know haven't had to do that. And when you work as a team with your friends who are also collecting the NFTs, any duplicates I get that somebody else needs, they can trade me their duplicates that I need, back and forth, etc., and help you complete sets. But we'll get more into that here in a minute.
And this is the one that people are going to lose their minds over. Limited to 999. It's the Leonardo Grail. I think it looks really cool, but you have a 0.3% chance of pulling this NFT from your NFT booster packs, which only cost $9, which basically costs $2 in NFT, but you have a 2% chance. So, like, I mean, you're going to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and I'm sure there will be people spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars trying to pull one of these. So
now you only need 1 pack. I mean, the reality is you only need 1 pack to pull that card. Everybody's chances are the same. Everybody's odds are the same. So you got 1 shot. You open the pack, you get it or you don't get it. I get it that it's very rare, but if you put it into perspective of something like a Pokemon cards, let's talk about that for a second. If you get a V-Star box of Pokemon cards right now, which has, I believe, 5 packs of cards inside of it, it retails at $29.99, so $30, and you get 50 cards. That's less per card. But anybody who's watched a Pokemon opening knows that once you roll the 3 to the front or whatever it is, and the first 8 or 9 cards, you're just chucking to the side, because what you're after is that chance that you're going to get that foil card, or you're going to get that rare card, or you're going to get that rainbow card, or you're going to get that Charizard, whatever it might be. And then, so 8 to 9 out of 10 of those cards are, once you've completed a set, if you're completing a set, are not very valuable, if any value at all. And certainly very, very little value if you don't get them graded, if you don't send them off to get graded. And then let's talk about that. On an NFT, every single card is perfectly centered. There's no corner damage. There's no scratches on the surface. There's no issues with them. And I don't have to mail it out and risk the post office or UPS or FedEx getting it to them to get graded and then pay that fee and then get them back in the mail, trusting those systems again to get it back in the best condition possible. And then it all depends on how that grading comes out. If that card from the manufacturer is slightly off center, it downgrades the value of the card. If there's a corner ding, if there's any edging wrong with the card, anything goes wrong with that card whatsoever, if your greasy fingertips got on it and created some sort of damage, it will devalue that card. And the difference in value between a 10 and an 8 is drastic in a lot of the cards, especially in Pokemon. So you get my point. The NFTs are for the long haul. They're digital. They can't be damaged. They're easy to transfer because everything is done digitally. You don't have to worry about shipping anything, so there's no fees in that as well. That's my little rant on that.
How many people do you think are going to be buying these NFTs and don't care about the NFT? They just want the pop. I guarantee you, thousands and thousands and thousands of people.
I don't disagree. In fact, I was in a Discord call before the last drop for Nickelodeon, and there were a bunch of people in this Discord, and half of the room was, who cares about the NFT? I'm just going after the physical pop. And half the room was, I want the NFT as well, and I hope I get a physical pop, but I really want the NFT. And it was fun to watch that battle play out and who had opinions, because they were both very strong on both sides. But he's right. A lot of people won't want to keep the NFTs, but a lot of people will.
Now, again, I say, if these were actual cards, I would buy those. How cool would that be, Funko? Because if something bad happens, I still have the cards.
But if something bad happens, I still have the cards. They're not connected to my computer. If the computer crashes, I can go get on another computer, access my wallet, and get my cards. So, I mean, the NFTs. So it isn't, even if the value goes to nothing, I still have them. I still own them. They still belong to me. So I still have them just the same. And the difference is that mine aren't going to be in a box in a collection that's collected dust for 20 years and is now being sold in the garage sale for $5 for the entire box. So,
and if I pull a Grail thing and I'm able to submit it and, get an actual pop, that's awesome. So that's how they're doing this. And this is a way that I think they're going to coerce people into buying a ton of these, hunting for these Grails.
You're only spending the amount of money that you can afford and that you reasonably want to spend. Anybody that's not doing that, that's on them. And as long as you're not wasting your rent money or throwing away, your family's not going to eat that night, then it doesn't really make any difference, because people spend thousands and thousands of dollars chasing after certain Funko Pops or certain Grails or for certain sodas or whatever else. So it's all six and one, half dozen of the other. It's all part of the collecting line. It's all part of the collecting game.
And so here's the next part, the reason that I don't like NFTs. It says, Wax the green NFT blockchain, environmental sustainability through high efficiency. The Wax blockchain is not the easiest way to mint NFTs, but also the most environmentally friendly. To put it in very simplistic terms, the creation of NFTs and maintaining of blockchains, it takes a huge, huge, huge energy drain. So there's a lot of controversy if this is really bad for the environment or not. So Wax saying that they are the environmental friendly option is it's kind of like saying it's better to drink diet soda instead of regular soda. Diet soda is still bad for you. It's just not quite as bad for you as regular soda. Maybe that's a bad analogy. Again, I'm not an expert on NFTs, but they have a huge drain on the environment as far as energy consumption from what I've read.
Okay, I didn't mean to click out of that part. I do respect that he said from what I've read. But what he has read is uniquely different as it applies to the Wax blockchain versus Ethereum or Bitcoin. And it says right here on this sheet that he's showing on his page, Wax is 125,000 times more efficient than Ethereum and 320,000 times more efficient than Bitcoin. And why that is the difference between something called proof of stake and proof of work. So for Bitcoin and Ethereum, I won't bore you with the details, but I need to tell you a little bit so you understand what I'm saying. The difference, Bitcoin and Ethereum use what's called proof of work. And in order to add blocks to the blockchain, multiple computers from all over the world are competing to solve massive equations to verify the information that is going into the block and attach it to the blockchain. And those miners that are validating these blocks are being rewarded in Bitcoin or Ethereum for adding those and for validating. So what happens is you have multiple computers from all around the world trying to solve the same equations to get to be the one that gets to attach the block and be rewarded in that Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, proof of stake is just one single computer, one node, as it's called, that validates the block and adds it to the blockchain. That node or that computer is randomly selected instantly upon transaction, and so that one computer or one node is the only one touching that transaction to verify and add it to the blockchain. And so what that means is that they can do thousands and thousands of transactions per second versus Bitcoin and Ethereum that can do like 7 per minute kind of thing. So it speeds up the process. The energy consumption is minimal, almost non-existent compared to the Ethereum and Bitcoin blockchains. And so it is incredibly green in that does not require all the same computing power to get the same result. That's why we have so many other layer 1 cryptos coming up that are competing with Ethereum, because they've all moved to this proof of stake versus proof of work. I'm sorry for that complicated, long-winded explanation, but simply put, Wax is uniquely different, and the blockchain is uniquely different than Ethereum and Bitcoin, and what he is saying is a massive drain on energy consumption.
And then the last thing it's just a little icing on the cake that is really cool, that so many people are going to want, that heck I want, is they're offering up Achieve Mastery. Collect one of every NFT in the set and redeem for a free physical pop. So that, according to that Bleeding Cool article, that's 600 different NFTs of every rarity and every variant. If you collect all 600 of them, 600, you're going to spend thousands of dollars trying to collect all 600 of them.
Now, I'm not sure what article he's referring to. He's mentioned the article, he's referenced it. I didn't find the article, but the idea that there's 600 NFTs in this set is inaccurate. It's implying that you have to have all the legendaries and grails as well to complete the set, and that's not true. You only have to have one of every common, uncommon, rare, and epic. And in that set, especially referring to this set here that he's talking about, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles set, there were 44 commons, 27 uncommons, 15 rare, and 10 epics, making a total of 96 cards. So I'm not real sure where that 600 cards came up, and the majority of those cards could be purchased for less than $10 to $15. All the commons and uncommons combined might cost you, in aftermarket prices, maybe $10 to $15. And it isn't until you get into the rare and the epics that become more valuable that might cost you a little bit more money to complete the set if you don't pull them out of your packs. But you have ways to buy individual cards that you need. You don't have to buy a $10 pack just to get the one card that you need and hope that you pull it. There's a huge secondary market to be able to get access to all of the cards that are for sale and be able to pick and choose the cards that you need to complete your set.
Then, if you do that, you can get one of these bad boys right here, and it's a Freddy Funko dressed up as a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fanboy with a skateboard and Michelangelo's outfit and stuff on. And this Freddy Funko is flipping awesome. Don't get me wrong. This is great. This is really, really cool. But you have to collect one of every 600 card variations on the NFT platform in order to be able to redeem for one of these. If it's $10 to get 5, let's just say you bought 600 and then you actually pulled different ones, which isn't what's going to happen. You're going to have to buy multiples. This is going to be a massive task to complete.
I agree, it's a massive task, but he's wrong on all those points. It isn't 600, it's 96. And there is a secondary market where you can buy individual cards. You don't have to buy 600 packs, or in the real case, you don't have to buy 96 packs to try to get all of the cards. There's a secondary market. You buy the cards that you want. And a lot of the cards are 3 and 4 cents. So that part is just a little bit too far out there, that you would have to buy, even if you had the number correct and it was 96, the idea that you'd have to buy 96 packs and hope that you get one of every one and no duplicates, just that's crazy. You'd have to buy thousands and thousands of packs, which clearly is what he thinks, but that's just not right.
I can understand why Funko did this. I can understand.
Before he goes further with that, let me share something with you, because I think this is important, and we're going to go back to a couple of things that he said, but back to the idea that there are going to be a lot of people that are collecting it for the NFTs and a lot of people that are only collecting for the physical redemptions. And let me just show you the truth behind that and give you a little bit of insight as to how that is playing out. Okay, so as it relates to this specific card that he's already talked about, the Leonardo Grail, and the slim chance that you might pull it, if you did pull it, then a couple of things happen. Once you redeem it, you will get a token, you redeem the token, and you get to keep the NFT and you get the physical pop. When you keep the NFT, there is value in that NFT. And the idea that there isn't can be refuted right here on this page, which shows the history of sales for this specific NFT. Now, if you look here at the time that it dropped, you had prices for this thing going at $656. It actually spiked up here. There's times when it's here 2 of the cards sold for $643. You know, it varied between $500-$600, right? And then what happened is right here on 11/30, you can see that the redemption period ended December 31st, and it started, and so that means that the token came out right there at the end of November. And right here on November 30th, when the token dropped for the redemption, the value of that card dropped drastically. It dropped down to, because it now no longer carried the value of being able to turn it in for a physical pop. Okay, so even though it did that, immediately thereafter, the next day on 12/1, there were still 60 cards sold for an average price of $80.19. No redeemable, no physical pop, no anything. They just sold because the NFTs are cool. If you look on the 31st, the last day of the physical redemption period, now from here on out, there is no physical redemptions whatsoever. Even if you had the coin, you couldn't redeem it and get a pop. You only have access to the NFT. That's all that's left, is just the NFT. And from that point forward, there have been, from January 1st until present, there have been 77 cards sold for a total value of $9,905.62, making each one an average cost of $128.64. So $124 per card with no redeemable available to it. So to tell me that there's no value in the NFT itself just doesn't hold true. The facts are right here on the chart.
The thing that I don't like is you're not really getting anything. And I know some of y'all watch.
Again, I'm not sure why he keeps saying that. You're not getting anything. You are getting something. You're getting a digital card that has utility. So it does exist. It is real. And it carries value. It has stored value.
The thing that I don't like is that you're buying something that doesn't really exist. And
if I had a nickel for every time he said that in this video, I'd have several nickels.
And they've put these chase items, which, you know, mystery boxes, you have chases. Even with Pokemon cards, you have booster packs that you're opening up looking for chase cards and stuff. They've put these chase items that you may be able to achieve, but it's going to cost a lot of money.
Even if it did cost a lot of money, all of our collections cost a lot of money. That's what we do. We're collectors. We spend a lot of money on the things that we love and the collections that we have.
To achieve these chase items.
But in this case, it doesn't cost a lot of money.
items. And then the people that actually get them, that cost is going to be skyrocketed high. And like on the on the Bebop, that's a Blacklight Bebop. You think they're not going to do a Blacklight Rocksteady? They do a Blacklight Rocksteady and a Blacklight Bebop. You think they're not going to do a Blacklight of every other Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle character? So are they saving it for NFTs, or is it going to be regular releases? What if they do regular Blacklight releases of the entire Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle line, but the only way you can get the Bebop is through this NFT redemption, and that becomes the holiest of all holy grails? You see
I love that idea.
what I'm talking about here? Lots of crazy stuff going on. The way that I would love this is if they were actual card packs. If it was actual cards that you could get and open up a booster pack and see.
If it was actual cards that you could accidentally damage, or you could get lost in the mail when you're trying to get them graded, or if they were actual cards that sat in a box for the next 10 years until they made it into your garage sale. I can say the same arguments in reverse on the actual or the real cards.
See what you're actually able to. Okay, so this is, cool, I pulled the Leonardo. Oh, sweet, I pulled the legendary Bebop. I can send this in and redeem it.
But in the case of the NFT, you don't have to send it in. You send in the token that they drop and give you. So you get to keep the NFT or the real card, and you get the physical pop both.
If they were doing that, that would be so cool.
And both have value.
Oh, Funko, I wish you would have done that. It would be a lot cheaper to make, but
it wouldn't be cheaper to make cards than it is the digital Funko at all.
When you do these NFTs, you just have to make the one thing. You don't have to ship anything. You don't have to worry about people getting damaged orders. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. So, for me personally, I don't like this. I think this is a way that people are going to dump a bunch of money into Funko NFTs.
So that's essentially the video. And, I don't have any disrespect towards Dr. Applesauce. I think his opinion is valid. It's a year outdated. I did reach out to him to see if his opinion had changed. He indicated that it has not. And more power to him. Again, I don't have any issue with that. He doesn't see the value in them. I do. We have differing opinions, and the overall consensus, the one thing that we both do agree on, is we both agree that you should do your own research and be very financially responsible before you jump into the NFT game. Consider what you're willing to spend, stick to that budget, that sort of thing, because you can go down rabbit holes, just as you can go down a rabbit hole of chasing the Chase soda, chasing the Chase pop, chasing the Chase any figure, you name it, that you got to order multiple for a chance of pulling something. In the soda, you could buy, I bought 25 Rosy sodas, never pulled a Chase. 25 Rosy sodas, never pulled a Chase. Someone finally gifted me one. That's the only way I ended up getting it. And so not only that, even if I did get one, what do you do with the other 24? Give them away, sell them for next to nothing, for less money than you paid, plus shipping and fees, et cetera, et cetera. So, the comparisons don't hold much weight. It is a real thing. It's a physical, real thing, or it's a real thing. It's a digital asset that I can look at, I can utilize, and has stored value. And just the same as these Funko Pops or these sodas up here are an asset that have stored value, that cost money and are real and sitting right there. So the idea that they're different, I disagree with. And the idea of the blockchain technology behind it being not energy efficient and this being bad for the environment, I disagree with. And so many other things I disagree with. But I will link the full-length video from Dr. Applesauce down in the description below, because I don't want you to think I took anything out of context. I will have to chop it up for editing purposes, but if you want to see the full-length video, definitely go check it out. That way maybe you can educate yourself on both sides and figure out what you want to do. I think the thing that Dr. Applesauce and I both agree on is simply this. Do your own research. Don't trust some weirdo on YouTube telling you what you should buy or not buy. Just understand that there are two sides to the coin. Some people see the value in the NFTs. Some people see the value in the physical redemptions. And in a lot of cases, we see a lot of value in both. But do the research, understand what it is before you jump in, and always be responsible when you are buying them. So, You're not spending your rent money or your mortgage or your dinner money or anything else buying something like a collectible, regardless of whether it's real or a not real digital version of something. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, turn on notifications, and we will see you in the next one. Yeah, we will.